Hello everyone, how's it going today? Joe Bodone here, video blogger and internet entrepreneur. As always, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I definitely do appreciate that. So in this video, we're going to discuss financial management and the 3 steps that I want to recommend everybody use in order to manage their finances better. And the first step is going to be know your money. Know your money. The second step is going to be budget your money. And the third step is going to be plan for the future. Now, when I say know your money, what I'm actually talking about here is to track your money, okay? And when I say track your money, I'm talking about dollars and cents. I'm talking about, to the nickel, every single, money you have coming in or going out, you need to have a very close eye on. And the way I recommend doing that is using a money management software. The one I use is actually Quicken, but there are several others out there that are equally as good. So get your hands on a money management software and that'll begin helping you. So when you're tracking your money, you basically want to track your income. So especially once you start building an online business, you're going to have several sources of income ideally. But right now, if you're just working a regular job, you got to track your income, you got to track your paychecks and whatnot, and you have to track your output. Okay? And it's pretty simple. And using a money management software helps you to be able to have a very close eye on what you have coming in and what you have going out. And, that's going to lead us into the next topic, which is going to be budgeting your money. So in order to properly budget your money, you need to have a close understanding as to what you're spending your money on and how much money you have coming in. And if you don't have a close eye on that, it's going to be impossible to write a good budget. And, a lot of people get intimidated by a budget because they think they're like locked into a budget. You need to understand that a budget is constantly evolving. You start with a budget, just start with a budget. Write it. If it doesn't work, you change it and you edit it. And, people need to try not to be so intimidated by writing a budget. And I think part of the reason is a lot of people don't quite understand what it entails. So the reality of it is, you have fixed expenses, right? You have varied expenses. And you have discretionary. Understanding how these 3 types of expenses interact with one another is, the key to working with whatever income you have at this point in time. So you need to really have a close eye on, okay, your fixed expenses would be like your mortgage payment or your rent payment, something that's the same every single month for however long you own your house, however long you're renting your apartment. That expense is fixed, or your car payment or your insurance payment. Those types of expenses are fixed. The varied expense would be like your electric bill or the money you spend on gas or the money you spend on food or some of the money you're spending, which varies from month to month. And then discretionary would be, the money that you're spending on unnecessary items. Not saying that you shouldn't spend it. I'm just saying discretionary is a form of money where you actually look at where you're at with your income and output, and you actually make a decision whether or not you should spend money on something like going out with your buddies or on a vacation or maybe buying that new set of shoes or something that you may not necessarily need but you want. That's where discretionary comes in. So it's pretty important there. So the reality of it is, though, when you're trying to write a budget, knowing this and then also knowing what you have coming in, income, ideally, this is bigger than this, okay? Your income should be bigger than your expenses. And if it's not, you're going to have to make some changes. You're going to have to look at your expenses. You're going to have to try to find ways where you can reduce some of your expenses. Maybe you can drop cable, or maybe you can find a cheaper place to live, or maybe you can cut out more of your discretionary income or discretionary expenses. Whatever that is, you can change that if you need to, if your income is less than your expenses. Now, if your income is more than your expenses, you're in a good position. However, you still need to budget if you want to plan for the future. So what I typically say is on your fixed and varied expenses, so fixed and varied, those need to be roughly 50% of your monthly income. All right? If they're more, then you either have to get more income or you got to make some changes. All right? Your discretionary should be no more than 10%. So you got 60% right there. You need 20%. I'm sorry. Your savings, you need to be saving at least 20%. All right? And they say pay yourself first. So when you get your pay, whatever type of pay schedule you're on, when you get your pay schedule, like if you get paid bi-weekly, take that lump sum 20% of that paycheck and put it into savings right away. Save it, okay? And I'll get into investing and stuff like that in a minute. But the reason why you need to save, and you need to save 20%, because in a short order, you'll build up enough of a savings where it's your emergency money. Your furnace goes out, you got to buy a new furnace, boom. You don't have to put it on credit card. You lose your job and you need to pay your bills. Okay, you have that money in your savings. So there's reasons why it's important to be putting 20% into your savings. Okay, and then once you reach, they say 3 months, but I'm going to say 6 months. Once you reach 6 months of income in savings, then maybe you can put 10% into savings and the other 10% can go into investments. But right here, 60, 80, so 15% invest. Okay? Now, when I say invest, I mean that could be in like a 401k or some type of retirement program, but it also includes investing in your business and investing in yourself and, trying to move forward. I mean, this 15% is money that you're using to make more money, okay? And then the last 5% is discretionary. You don't necessarily have to do that, but that would be like charitable donations, that type of stuff, if that's what you're into. You don't have to. If you want to use this 5% and put it into investing or savings, you can. When you're trying to build an income, a passive income, you really want to watch your discretionary income, because this is the difference maker right here. If you're having problems with any of this, you can decrease your discretionary spending, okay? And if you do all this and you do it well and you do it right, there's going to be really no need for planning for the future, because this is planning for the future, okay? And having a good understanding of this now, where your income is now, when you become financially independent, you actually generate a passive income. This is going to be very important, okay? Because if you can't manage this now, before you have a passive income, before you become financially independent, it's going to be very difficult to ever reach that state of becoming financially independent. So in order to have proper financial management skills, you need to know your money, you need to budget your money, and you need to plan for the future. I want to thank everyone for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.